Joined by Martin Biron. Marty, not long ago, some of us were wondering if Ilya Samsonov would ever play another game for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and now he's going to start his second straight when the Leafs face the Jets on Wednesday. Marty, it's one thing to start against the Kraken, but against the Jets, what do you think of this call?
Well, I think it's the right call. Look, Samsonov looked really good against the Kraken. He looked okay in his first start, and I think the biggest thing is it's not his natural physical abilities that were being questioned. It's more of his mental makeup, how he was able to handle some of the adversity that he had to deal with. And I thought he did that really well against Seattle. He had to make some really big saves in that game, Schultz and Schwartz and, all of those guys. But on top of it, he looked calm throughout the whole game, was able to handle the ups and downs of the tight game that it was against Seattle. So I think that's a great reward. And also, you've got to look at Samsonov's results against the Jets in his career. Now it's a small sample, but he's 2-1 with a 135 goals against average and a 960 save percentage in his career against the Jets. So mentally, he has got a good feeling against the Winnipeg Jets. So you're going to build off of that and you put him back in net.
That is some impressive stat digging there. Good job, Marty. All right, so Samsonov's got the net right now. Martin Jones played 10 of 11 at one point, and Joseph Woll is nearing a return from injury. When everyone is healthy and back, who's the odd man out amongst his trio?
Well, I think if everybody is healthy and back and where you want them to be, it goes back to what it was before the season started in training camp, is Martin Jones would be your insurance policy, the third guy. You can send him back down. I don't know if teams are going to take a swipe at him on the waiver wire, but I think that your plan going into the season was Joseph Woll, Ilya Samsonov, Joseph Woll, whichever order you had it, whoever takes the ball and runs with it, you're going to go with. So you got to wait and see when Woll comes back, if he's fully healthy, how he looks. But if everybody's healthy and looking great, it's Woll, Samsonov, and then Martin Jones.
But Marty, Woll has been fragile. We've seen that. Samsonov has been fragile emotionally. Martin Jones is the only guy that was consistent, and now you're telling him, thanks, but no thanks, you're out of here? I don't understand that, Marty.
It was like that in Seattle last year. Martin Jones really started well for them, but it came a point where they're like, thanks, but no thanks. It's Philip Grubauer's net, and that's the way we're going to go. It's a tough business. Jones did what he had to do. Now, on the flip side, the Leafs have to look at, okay, how can we have our best goalie playing? And if it's Joseph Woll, it's Joseph Woll. If it's Samsonov, it's Samsonov. If they're all healthy and all looking good, unfortunately, you got to slide one out.
All right. But goaltending's not the Leafs' only question mark right now. What about their captain, John Tavares? 8 games without a point, the worst stretch of his career. No one expects 8 games without a point. We understand that. But do the Leafs and their fans need to get used to the idea of him dropping well below his almost point-a-game pace moving forward?
Okay, well, I think that there's always a time in somebody's career where you're going to drop off. And maybe that is at 33 years old. Maybe it's at 37. Maybe it's 30. It depends on the individual. But dropping off is not like this massive step right now that Tavares is taking backwards. Now, I get no points in 8, right? But before that, 34 points in 37 games. John Tavares was only a point-a-game player in the NHL 5 times in his career, and only twice with the Leafs, including last year. So you're looking at it and you're saying, is John Tavares a point-a-game guy, or can he be a 60 to 70-point guy in the National Hockey League? And listen, 65 to 70 points is not a bad season. Yeah, I understand the big contract and the importance that John Tavares may have to the Leafs, but I don't think that's a bad step back here. If that's the new normal for Tavares, I can live with it for another year and a half.
The decline has been steady. Tavares had 47 goals in his first year with the Leafs. As of right now, he's on a pace to finish with only 22 this season.